So inevitably, this time of year, you start to see a lot of questions from guys about when is it okay to start shed hunting. I'm going to share my thoughts in this video, but feel free to comment below and let me know when you think is a good time to go after sheds.
So the first thing you have to ask yourself is, when do deer drop their antlers? In our part of Minnesota, we tend to see them drop predominantly from mid to late December through mid to late February. And that's just based on when we find antlers and when we see that they've shed on the trail camera data. Normally, once it hits mid to late February, it's pretty rare that we see that a buck is still holding. So knowing this, we'll start to casually look for sheds once the deer season is over. One of the first places that we check is food plots. So we're not hunting anymore. We're not worried about leaving ground scent in the food plots. We know by checking the plots, we're not stressing the deer. The deer are going to hit the food plots regardless of whether or not we check them, because this is when they need food the most, and the food plots are by far the most attractive winter forage out there. So we will check the plots, and it has zero impact on the stress level of deer. Another area that we're willing to check right after the deer season are those fall bedding areas and those fall transition areas. Now these are those areas with high stem count cover, so the deer will be in them heavily in the winter, but they are not bedding in these areas, so we can go into these areas. This is also the time of the year we're doing a lot of habitat work in these areas, so we're already in these areas anyway. And if you're a landowner, this is a time that you should be building up your habitat on your land, because this is the time that we really want to get food down to the deer's level in the form of woody browse. So we have no issue walking into these areas, because we know this is not where the deer are going to be bedding in the winter. So therefore it is okay to be in these areas and look for sheds or do habitat work. The areas we do not go into until the spring are those areas of thermal cover, which is the marsh, the swamps, the low-lying swamps, and the conifers. We stay out of these areas so as not to bump deer and stress deer, and we'll go into them after snow melt and look for sheds. As long as you know the property that you're shed hunting, you can easily get out and shed hunt in the winter without stressing the deer. We like to find the sheds early so we can beat the mice and squirrels to them, so that we can get the sheds while they're still in good shape. Winter can be a great time to get out, put the snowshoes on, get some exercise, and enjoy God's marvelous creation.